Hello and welcome to Whitman Hanson Community News, a magazine format news program produced by the staff here at Whitman Hanson Community Access. I'm Eric Dresser, the Executive Director of WHCA. Now let's have a look at what's coming up on this episode of WHCN. WHCA's Paul Watson brings us an update from the Whitman Public Library with Director Marcy Walsh O'Connor. The Hanson Roaring Twenties Gala celebrating the kickoff of the Hanson Bicentennial Celebration. A featured look at WHCA sports in Community Media Matters. But first, WHCA's Carol Brewster brings us a heartwarming story from the Hanson Multi-Services Senior Center.
On February 24th, the Hanson Multi-Service Senior Center hosted the Swingin Singers for their annual Valentine's Day program.
This was in a movie called High Society with Grace Kelly and Bing Crosby.
I remember that.
Don't you?
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
That's still alive, you found it.
Let's see. Suntan, wind blown, honeymooners at last alone, feeling far above par. Oh, how lucky we are. Give to you as you give to me, true love, true love. So on and on it will always be, true love, true love. For you and I have a guardian angel on high with nothing to do but to give to you as you give to me, love forever true. But I give to you and you give to me, true love, true love. So on and on it will always be, true love, true love. For you and I have a guardian angel on high with nothing to do but to give to you and to give to me, love forever true.
I'm going to sing a beautiful love song for you. It's from Frank Sinatra. I didn't bring my book, so I don't know when it was actually produced. But this song here, I love. I sang it professionally for a wedding, 2 weddings actually. So hopefully I'll do good for you tonight. When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. Happy to be near you when you need someone to cheer you, come what may. Taller than the tallest trees, that's how high it's got to be. Deeper than the deep blue sea is, that's how deep it goes if it's real. When somebody needs you, it's no good unless he needs you all the way. Through the good and bad years and all the in-between years, come what may. Who knows where the road would lead us? Only a fool would say. But if I'm gonna love you, it's for sure I'm gonna love you all the way, all the way. Good job.
fishing with my uncle, wrestling with my cousin. I even kissed Aunt Lou. Ew! And if I ever had to make a judgment kiss, it ought to be said. I'd trade them all, plus the gal down the road. Well, maybe not the gal down the road, for Grandma's feather bed. It was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 to 11 geese. Took a whole bunch of cloth from the chick. It'll hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, a pea we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed.
Thanks, Carol. And now, WHCA's Paul Watson brings us an update from the Whitman Public Library from Library Director Marcy Walsh O'Connor.
Many folks from Whitman and beyond have visited the public library here on Webster Street in Whitman. But how many know anything about any of the staff? Well, the current director is Marcy Walsh O'Connor, who took over the directorship a couple of years ago. Marcy grew up in neighboring Rockland, where her love of libraries was nurtured.
I was surrounded by parents and grandparents that enforced a love of reading into me, and the library for me growing up as a teenager was a safe place. I was always welcome there, and reading was my escape from dealing with grumpy kids or difficult classes, and it was just always a comforting place. Even still, if something's frustrating me, I'll just walk around in the stacks with all the books, and it will center me, and it calms me down.
Marcy volunteered at the Rockland Public Library all through high school and college. Her initial career focus was theater, but eventually shifted to psychology.
I went to school and started out, my degree was going to be theater, but I knew I probably wouldn't stay there. So I found a school. When I was looking at colleges, I found one with a really good theater program, but I also made sure that they had a lot of other classes I was interested in. So after a couple of years, I knew that I wouldn't make it as an actress. I fell into psychology. I was a residential counselor. I was dealing with what are called dually diagnosed adults, which means they have more than one mental illness, and they also had an addiction. And they were previously homeless, so it was our job through the state to make sure that they stayed in their homes, because a lot of people that are homeless end up back on the streets, even if you give them a safe place to live. And make sure they take their meds, make sure they went to their doctor's appointments, make sure they ate, and just called them on a daily basis and checked in with them. And it was hard because some of them didn't want you there. They just wanted to do their own thing, and being forced to document and how to tell them to live their lives. They didn't respond always in kind, so that was what was hard.
Finishing college, Marcy continued to work in libraries, eventually finding a position at the Mass College of Pharmacy, where through their reciprocal arrangement with Simmons College, pursued a master's degree in library science.
And the Mass College of Pharmacy library was hiring, and they offered tuition reimbursement to get my master's. So I worked full-time while getting my master's at Simmons for library science.
How long did it take you to do that?
My master's, I did it in 5 semesters, so a little over 2 years.
Which, working part-time, and just like you were a full-time student at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Armed with her master's, she came to the Whitman Library as assistant director.
There's a couple of websites that list all the library jobs that are open in the state, and so I was looking, and I saw that, and I applied, and had an amazing interview with Andrea and bonded right away, and I love the staff here.
During her time as assistant director, Marcy was responsible for many popular projects.
When I first came on, Andrea went on maternity leave, and almost immediately I had to go to the Brockton Public Library and accept a check for $350,000 from a bequest from a patron who had died, and we used that money. Initially, we knew we needed to replace all the computers in the library, so we did that, and it kind of spearheaded to we need new tables to put the computers on, and we need a new desk for the circulation and the children's room. And we redid all the technology in the community room and did new carpets there, and it was just phenomenal, and it's made a huge difference in the community. I started a non-traditional collection, which is something that's not a book, and we have cake pans at the library that you can borrow. I'm really proud of that too.
When the position of directorship opened up a few years ago, the board of directors of the library thought enough of Marcy to offer her the job.
And I think the Board of Library Trustees, because they had a knowledge of what Marcy was capable of, and she had been intimately involved with the library, the patrons, the staff at the library, the Board of Library Trustees, and the different department heads in town, that she really would be somebody who knew the system inside and out, and was somebody who could really hit the road running as soon as she became library director on day one.
And the board is very happy with this selection, as are the Friends of the Library.
Marcy has, as you know, has been on staff since 2015. She's proved herself very worthy of the position. She's worked very closely with Andrea, preparing the budget, staffing the library, working with the public, circulation. She's basically done a little bit of everything, and we're happy with what she's done so far, and we're excited on the road that she's going to lead us next.
We are very excited to have Marcy as the new director. She's going to be a great fit for the Friends and just for the public, like for the library itself. She's a great person, and she's very easy to talk to.
What are some of the qualities that the library, the Friends like most about Marcy?
Just somebody that is approachable, because what we're here for is to help raise funds for the library and for the programs and for the community, and to have somebody that's willing to just work with us and let us know exactly what they're looking for and what their intentions are for the year. Then we can gauge what we need to help raise for funds.
Marcy has some definite plans for the future of the library.
And so I'd really like us to go out into the community and support ourselves, but also inform businesses and the schools what we can do for them. I'd like it to be a center point of the community, and it's getting there, and I think that's ideally what a great library is.
Marcy Walsh O'Connor, comfortable with tradition, yet looking toward the future. I'm Paul Watson for Whitman Hanson Community News.
Thanks, Paul. And now it's off to the kickoff event for Hanson's 200th anniversary celebration. Carol Brewster brings us the sights and sounds from Hanson's Roaring Twenties Gala.
On February 22nd, Hanson held its 200th anniversary gala. The theme was the Roaring Twenties.
The library director. We have a display here at the 1920s Gala for Hanson's 200th anniversary. We have some books that are set in the 1920s that we pulled from our collection. And we also have some photographs which were donated to the library. They're from Whitman High School graduates from the late 20s, so 27, 28. We have these in our historical room normally, and we donated them here, or they're on loan for the event tonight. So we hope people really enjoyed them. We have a couple other props we put around to make the display.
Great.
Yeah, a great theme. So we hope people enjoy them. Thank you.
Which one is that?
My Baby Just Can't Speak, 1929. Okay? And we'll play this on the orthophonic machine. because this was designed to play the electrically recorded records that came out in 1925. Okay? And when you hear it, you'll say that must be coming through a speaker, but there is no speaker. This is all acoustical. Everything is hollow from here all the way down to the internal horn.
My baby don't care for silks and laces. My baby don't care for high-toned places. My baby don't care for rings or other expensive things. She's little as can see. My baby don't care for no. My baby just cares for me.
You know, what makes a town special? It's not how big our homes are, or how grand the town hall, or how wide the streets are, or even if we have sidewalks or not. We'll talk about that later on. But the relationships we have with each other, and the fact that you can't go to the Shaws or to the transfer station or to Damien's or here without seeing people that you know, you love, and that you want to be around. And so, here's to us. 200 years in, may we have another 200 years for our children, our grandchildren, and everyone else. So welcome. So I should turn over to our chair of the Board of Selectmen, Laura Fitzgerald Kemet, for a few remarks.
Thank you. So on behalf of the Board of Selectmen and the 200th Anniversary Committee, I want to thank you guys for being here and welcome you. When I look around this room, I kind of echo a lot of what Sean said, but when I look around this room, I see a bunch of people who are very committed to the environment and to the community. For instance, Melissa, who just organized the polar plunge, or Matt and Marianne Damasio, Matt Dyer and Marianne Damasio, who are committed to Green Hanson along with many other people. And Kenny Mitchell, who's been on Parks and Fields for years, long before he was a selectman. You know, Wes and Joanne, who organized drama up at Camp Kiwanee, and the list could go on and on. Jim Hickey, I know you'll kill me if I don't mention you too. So softball. You know, and then Juvie Hartwig, who runs the South Shore Children's Museum. I mean, these are people that make the fabric of our town. This is what makes our town such a wonderful place to live, and why I'm proud to call it home, and I'm sure many of you are as well. 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7, tap right with a tap, tap, behind and cross, tap, tap, behind, here we go, kick, step, touch, step, kick, step, touch, step, tap, tap, behind and cross, here's the hands, 7, here we go, step, kick, step, touch, here's a tap and a tap, tap, tap the left, here we go again, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back, tap the right 2 times, behind and cross, tap, tap.
Thanks, Carol. And now, WHCA's Heather Gonzalez brings us a special look at a feature on WHCA shown across Massachusetts entitled Community Media Matters, featuring WHCA Sports. Hello, I'm Eric Dresser, the Executive Director at Whitman Hanson Community Access. We've worked a whole bunch with the schools since I started in trying to bring equipment into the schools and then bring the people involved at the schools into what we're doing to help and supplement who we have available to film events or games or whatever that might be. WHCA's volunteers are really the lifeblood of what we're able to do. We have a small staff, so really we're only able to do as much as we are through the efforts from our volunteers.
In the basketball, I've got an opportunity to work with school committee chairman Bob Hayes and Hanson resident Don Ford, who have been involved with WHA for a long time. Working with Bob is a lot of fun because he's got so much passion Bob just loves to be involved.
The community has certainly benefited from the efforts that we've done with the schools because they're seeing a whole lot more educational content.
We have a good time doing it. It's a lot of fun. It helps too when the teams are doing well like they are this year.
And now, as we reach the last segment for this edition of WHCN, I bring you to the WHC office and a normal day as we get started here during these interesting COVID-19 operations. It's an interesting time during COVID-19, operating the cable station as an essential employee. Here's a normal day for a WHCA employee. And now it's time to head back to the server and get the next program on air. Once a WHCA staff member reaches the office and sits down at the video server, we are greeted by our bulletin board system playing full screen on the computer. What we do is we exit out of this page and move on to a new URL for the meeting that we're going to attend. Once this window opens, it gives us an option to join the meeting, and it launches the client for whatever meeting we're going to be meeting within. In this case, we're meeting with Zoom, and so we're going to join the computer audio so we can hear what's playing there. WHCA's computer does not have a webcam, nor does it have a microphone, and so we are not able to join a call and participate, but that's fine because that's not the role in which we're attending anyway. Our goal is to capture the audio and play it onto the channel live for our viewers. During a live meeting broadcast, you will see a slide playing full screen on your computer. Well, two slides really. The first saying that a meeting is upcoming, and the second saying that the meeting is in progress. In this second slide, you will see things listed such as the name of the committee who is meeting, the people who are going to be attending the meeting or participating in the meeting, the fact that it is happening via a conference call, and of course the name and date of the meeting, so that as you're watching, you know what you're seeing. Once these slides are ready, we play them full screen and switch to a second monitor where we control the audio in the background, such as the meeting and audio levels for any background music. Behind the pre-meeting slide, we will usually play an audio background track. Once it is time to go live in the meeting, we'll switch to our mixer and change the audio levels, bringing up the meeting audio and bringing down the audio of the browser playing the background music. Once the meeting is over, we do the inverse. The content which is captured to WHCA, in addition to being played on our cable channels, is also played here.
Good evening and welcome to the school committee meeting of April 22nd, 2020.
This video can be seen on our YouTube channel, as you saw below, or it can also be seen on our cable channels, viewable here, where you can see the channels here in this channel grid. You can also watch live our best of streams, so if you aren't a cable subscriber and you want to watch live, this is also an option for you. Down below the large playout window, you'll see 15 shows per page and 82 pages at this time of content that you can take a look at. We've made a number of additions to this website as we're dealing with COVID-19. Many of them you can find here in this bar across the top of the page, which will show you a lot of other resources. And the services tab here shows a lot of other areas where we were seeing high traffic and a lot of interest from the community. So we encourage people to click into that and learn more information. You can also, right from the home page of our website, get more information about how you can submit content. But for more information about that, let's go to WHCA's Paul Watson.
Parents, we are living in unusual times. The way things used to be is not the way they are now. Many of us, for various reasons, are staying at home, and our children are with us 24/7. Now, after a month of trying to be parent, pal, teacher, and more, many are running out of ideas to keep their children amused, engaged, and busy. We at WHCA are starting a new program to help you keep things fresh for your kids. Many parents out there are in the same boat you are, and with social distancing directives, you can't meet with other parents to swap ideas. That's where we come in. Our Parents' Idea Exchange will help you share your ideas with others and maybe show you some ideas that will help you keep things fresh for your kids. The premise is simple. Make a video of your idea. Shoot it with your phone or tablet, and shoot in landscape mode. Show how it's done, narrate the process, and submit it on our website. After you finish your video, go to WHCA.tv. On the homepage slideshow, the slide about submitting content is a link to the upload page. Click anywhere on that slide. On the next page, you will see a form. Fill out the form, but in the title of your submission field, put PIE at the beginning so it'll be easier for me to find. Keep going down the page to the Large Files line. Click on the Dropbox link and submit your video on the next screen according to the instructions. We will take the videos you submit and turn them into a program that will run on Channel 9. A new program will be produced every time we receive enough new ideas. Remember, we can get through this together, even if we are apart.
And now, it's time to wrap up another edition of WHCN. If you have a show idea you'd like to propose to be included in a future episode of WHCN, you can send it to the email address on your screen. From all of us here at WHCA, thanks for watching. Thanks, Paul, and thanks to all of you, our viewers, for tuning in to another edition of WHCN. If you have an idea you'd like to see featured on our program, you can call us at 781-447-4175 or email us at news@whca.tv. From all of us here at WHCA, thanks for watching.